Right now, somewhere within 10 feet of your kitchen window, there is a plant that could replace the calcium in your fridge, and you probably do not even know its name. Not a supplement, not a powder. A plant you can grow in a pot on your porch, in a raised bed out back, or in a 5-gallon bucket on your balcony. That pound for pound beats a glass of milk. Some of these are already growing in your yard right now, disguised as weeds you have been pulling out and throwing away. Stay with me until the end, because plant 14 is a tree that fits in a container by your front door and produces one of the most calcium-dense leaves on the planet, and plant 19 is something growing in your lawn this very second that most people spray with weed killer without ever knowing what they are destroying. Before we start, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We post new videos every week showing you exactly how to grow, harvest, and use plants like these, and you will not want to miss a single one. Let us get into it. These are 20 plants you can grow at home that carry more calcium than milk, starting with the ones you already know and building toward the ones that will genuinely surprise you. Plant 1. Kale, the cold hardy green anyone can grow. Kale tops this list first because it is the easiest possible entry point into growing your own calcium. A single cup of cooked kale delivers more usable calcium than most people expect. And the reason it matters is that kale carries very low levels of oxalates, the natural compounds that block calcium absorption in many other greens. That means your body actually gets to use what it takes in. Kale thrives in containers as small as 12 inches deep, tolerates frost better than almost any vegetable you can grow, and actually turns sweeter after a cold snap. Plant it once in early spring or fall, and you can be harvesting outer leaves for months without ever pulling the whole plant. Plant 2. Collard greens, the porch pot staple with southern roots. Collards have fed families for centuries, and a single cooked cup often matches or beats a glass of milk in calcium. What most people miss is that collards were never wasteful. Families simmered the leaves low and slow and saved the cooking liquid, known as pot liquor, because it held on to the minerals that leached out during cooking. At home, collards need nothing fancy, just a deep container or a garden bed with decent sun, and they will stand green through frost and snow long after other plants have given up. Plant 3. Bok choy, the fast harvest for small spaces. If you want calcium in weeks instead of months, bok choy is your plant. It is low in oxalates just like kale, meaning the calcium inside it is easy for your body to absorb, and it grows so quickly that you can plant it in spring, harvest it, then plant it again in fall in the exact same container. A shallow pot on a sunny windowsill or patio is genuinely enough space to keep a steady harvest going all season. Plant 4. Turnip greens, the free bonus crop hiding in your soil. Here is something that will change how you garden. When people grow turnips for the root, they usually toss the leafy tops into the compost, throwing away the most nutritious part of the plant. Turnip greens often carry more calcium per cooked cup than a full glass of milk, and you get them for free every time you grow turnips for the root. One packet of seeds in a garden bed or a large container gives you 2 harvests from a single plant. Plant 5. Mustard greens, the fast-growing peppery green for cool seasons. Mustard greens bring a bold, peppery bite and a genuinely impressive calcium content, and they are part of the same cruciferous family as broccoli and cabbage. They shoot up from seed with almost no effort, thrive in cool spring and fall weather when many other crops stall, and a little cooking mellows that sharp flavor into something rich and savory. A container by a sunny door is all the space this one needs. Plant 6. Watercress, the water-loving green you can grow in a tray. Watercress once topped scientific rankings for nutrient density, and Roman soldiers and Greek thinkers ate it believing it gave them strength. It carries a meaningful dose of highly absorbable calcium, and here is the part that matters for growing it at home. Watercress does not need a stream. It grows happily in a shallow tray or wide container kept consistently moist, even indoors near a bright window, making it one of the easiest ancient superfoods to bring into a modern kitchen. Plant 7. Arugula, the peppery salad green that self-seeds. Arugula grows almost aggressively once it takes hold, often reseeding itself, so you barely need to replant it season after season. Its sharp, peppery leaves carry a solid calcium content, and because it is ready to harvest in as little as 3 weeks, a single windowsill pot can keep a rotating supply going nearly year-round. Plant 8. Spinach, the classic green people underestimate. Spinach gets treated like a background salad ingredient, but a cooked cup carries a genuinely strong calcium content alongside iron and folate. It prefers cool weather, bolts quickly in summer heat, and does best in spring and fall containers or shaded garden beds. If you are only growing one leafy green this year and want maximum familiarity with maximum nutrition, spinach is the safe, reliable choice. If you are starting to realize that some of the most powerful calcium sources in the world are things you could be growing on your own porch right now instead of buying at the store, do me a favor and hit that like button. It genuinely helps this video reach more people who want to grow their own food and take control of their own nutrition. And if you still have not subscribed, now is the moment, because we have 16 more plants to go, and some of them are going to completely change how you see your own yard. Plant 9, Swiss chard, the colorful green that keeps producing. Chard is one of the most forgiving plants you can grow, tolerating heat, cold, and neglect better than almost any leafy green, and its cooked leaves carry an impressive calcium content. Unlike many greens that bolt after one harvest, chard keeps sending up new leaves from the same plant for months if you harvest the outer leaves and leave the center intact, making a single container plant genuinely productive all season long. Plant 10, dandelion greens, the lawn weed worth more than gold. The bright yellow weed you have spent years pulling and spraying is actually one of the most nutritious plants on the planet, rich in calcium, iron, and a whole host of vitamins. European settlers brought dandelion seeds to America deliberately, valuing them as food and medicine, and every part of the plant was used, from root to flower to leaf. Somewhere along the way, the perfect weed-free lawn became a symbol of success, and we declared war on the very plant our ancestors once treasured. You likely do not even need to plant this one. Just stop spraying it and start harvesting the young leaves instead. Plant 11, stinging nettle, the fierce healer growing wild in shaded corners. Do not let the sting scare you off. Once cooked or dried, nettle transforms into one of the most mineral-rich plants you can find, remarkably high in calcium, iron, and magnesium. In old mountain traditions, nettle tea and nettle soup were given to new mothers to help them recover strength after childbirth. It grows readily in a shaded, slightly damp corner of the yard with almost no care at all, though you should always cook or fully dry it before eating, and check with a professional first if you are pregnant or on medication. Plant 12, amaranth leaves, the heat-loving green from an ancient civilization. Amaranth greens are exceptionally high in calcium, and this plant was once so sacred to the Aztecs that it played a central role in their culture and ceremonies. While the tiny amaranth seed gets all the attention today as a trendy grain, the broad leaves were eaten just as widely across Africa, Asia, and the Americas. What makes amaranth perfect for home growing is that it thrives in hot, dry weather that wilts more delicate greens, making it one of the few leafy vegetables that actually gets better as your summer gets worse. Plant 13, Napa cabbage, the mild leaf behind a beloved ferment. Napa cabbage, the pale, frilly leaf at the heart of traditional kimchi, holds far more calcium than people expect. When it is fermented, it does not just keep its minerals intact, it gains beneficial probiotics that support gut health, a trick our ancestors discovered as a way to preserve food through harsh winters. It grows well in cool weather containers and stores beautifully afterward, making it one of the few plants on this list that rewards you twice, once fresh and once fermented. Plant 14, the fig tree, the ancient fruit you can grow in a container by your door. Figs are one of the oldest cultivated fruits in human history, mentioned again and again in ancient texts, and dried figs in particular are a concentrated source of calcium. Drying a fresh fig does not just preserve it, it concentrates the minerals inside, turning a simple fruit into a portable, naturally sweet calcium snack. Dwarf fig varieties are genuinely happy in a large container on a patio or even brought indoors near a bright window through winter in colder climates. And once established, a single tree can produce fruit faithfully for decades. Plant 15, broccoli, the familiar vegetable you have been underestimating. Broccoli sits in nearly every grocery store in America, yet most people have no idea it is a solid, well-absorbed source of calcium, taken up by the body at a higher rate than many people would assume. You do not need anything exotic to support strong bones. Broccoli grows well in cool spring and fall containers or garden beds, rewarding you with one large central head followed by smaller side shoots that keep producing for weeks afterward. Plant 16. Okra, the heat-tolerant pod with deep history. Okra carries a real calcium content along with fiber and other minerals, and it has fed people across Africa, the Middle East, and the American South for generations. It traveled to America through the transatlantic slave trade, carried in the memories and seeds of enslaved Africans who fought to keep their food traditions alive, eventually becoming a defining ingredient in dishes like gumbo. Okra thrives in blazing summer heat that destroys other crops, making it one of the best choices for a container garden in a hot climate where little else survives. Plant 17. Basil, the kitchen herb hiding a mineral secret. Most people grow basil purely for flavor and never realize it also carries a meaningful calcium content, especially when the leaves are dried and used generously in cooking. Basil is genuinely one of the easiest plants to grow at home, thriving on a sunny windowsill in nothing more than a small pot, and it rewards frequent harvesting by growing back fuller and bushier every time you cut it. Plant 18. Purslane, the juicy weed our ancestors adored. Purslane grows happily in gardens, sidewalk cracks, and open fields, and most people yank it out without a second thought. Yet purslane offers valuable calcium along with the highest level of beneficial omega-3 fats of almost any leafy green plant on Earth, and it has been eaten across the Mediterranean, the Middle East, and Asia for thousands of years. It often shows up uninvited in garden beds and containers, which means for many of you, this calcium source may already be growing at home, whether you planted it or not. Plant 19. Moringa, the miracle tree you can grow in a pot. Moringa, sometimes called the miracle tree or the drumstick tree, has leaves so densely packed with nutrition that humanitarian organizations have studied it as a tool against malnutrition around the world. Moringa leaves are extraordinarily high in calcium, along with protein, iron, and a wide range of vitamins. The tree grows astonishingly fast in warm climates and tolerates drought with ease, and in cooler regions, it can be grown in a large container and brought indoors for winter, staying small and manageable while still producing harvestable leaves. A quick safety note: pregnant women should be cautious with concentrated moringa products and should check with a professional first. Plant 20. Chia, the ancient seed you can sprout on your counter. Chia seeds were a prized food of the Aztecs and Mayans, valued for the endurance and strength they provided, and they are genuinely rich in calcium. What makes chia perfect for this list is that you do not even need a garden. Chia sprouts can be grown on a damp paper towel or in a shallow tray on your kitchen counter in days, giving you a fast, space-free way to add real calcium to your plate without waiting on a single season. So here's what you now know that most people never realize. The comforting idea that milk is the only road to strong bones is simply a story we were told growing up, but nature offers dozens of other paths to the exact same goal, and nearly all of them can be grown in the space you already have, whether that is a full backyard, a small balcony, or a single sunny windowsill. From the kale in a porch pot to the dandelions in your lawn, from a fig tree by your door to chia sprouted on your counter, calcium has been available to grow at home this entire time. If this video changed the way you look at your own yard, smash that like button right now. Drop a comment and tell me which plant on this list surprised you the most. And if you have not subscribed yet, this is exactly the moment to do it. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because next week we are showing you exactly how to start growing several of these plants from scratch, and you will not want to miss it. As always, before making any big changes to your diet, especially if you have health concerns or take medication, it is wise to speak with a doctor or a registered dietitian first.